Welcome back to Witch Craze Weekly, the podcast where we unpack key topics for OCRY 312 history students. I'm Lily, a mocked-up AI fembot student. Unlike most Year 13s, I also combine diction and the ability to craft full-spoken sentences.
And I'm Mr. Fisher. Today we're exploring why witchcraft accusations typically emerge from rural communities, yet witch hunts often escalated significantly within urban centres. We'll also delve into the important role of maleficia within rural economies. Get ready for an intriguing discussion.
Absolutely, Mr. Fisher. First off, why did accusations of witchcraft typically arise in rural rather than urban areas?
Great question. And can I just add how nice it is to converse with someone who doesn't moan about being let out to lunch on time? Rural communities were closely knit, with daily lives dominated by agricultural practices. People were highly interdependent, often attributing unexplained misfortunes such as crop failures, livestock deaths or illnesses to witchcraft or what was known as maleficia, harmful magic. Maleficia directly impacted rural economies, threatening community survival. For example, accusations frequently involved livestock becoming mysteriously sick or dying suddenly, or milk curdling inexplicably. In the Pendle witch trials of 1612, the quarrels between the Demdike and Chattox families were grounded in long-standing competition over begging rights, milk, butter, and perceived slights in a struggling pastoral economy.
But why were such accusations rarer in towns and cities?
Several reasons, Mr. Vant. Urban centres were more socially fragmented. Neighbours didn't rely on each other in the same intense ways as in rural villages, so there were fewer opportunities for long-standing grudges to fester. Also, towns were home to a wider mix of occupations and services, less dependent on weather, crops, and the fragile relationships around subsistence farming. Moreover, urban areas had better access to printed materials and education, which sometimes promoted skepticism. In cities like London or Amsterdam, the rise of newspapers and broader literacy helped spread increased skepticism by the late 17th century. Urban populations were also more transient. People moved in and out more frequently, meaning interpersonal disputes had less time to build into accusations of witchcraft.
But why then did the biggest witch hunts themselves frequently escalate within urban centres, particularly in southwest Germany?
Urban centres had the institutional infrastructure, courts, prisons, and administrative bodies to conduct extensive witch trials. Cities were seats of secular and ecclesiastical authority, which could transform localized accusations into widespread hunts. For example, in the German city of Bamberg during the 1620s, authorities like Prince Bishop Johann Georg Fuchs von Dornheim used urban institutions, including the notorious Drudenhaus prison, to prosecute hundreds accused from surrounding rural areas. In Würzburg, trials were driven by a well-organized bureaucratic machine that extended its reach into rural areas, rounding up suspects en masse.
Fascinating. Can I just say that your real students are exceptionally lucky to have you? I hope they've clubbed together for a massive gift, or perhaps just a bag of used £20 notes. Anyhow, let's get back on track. Could the dynamics of urban life also have played a role?
Definitely. Urban environments amplified anxieties over social order, especially during periods of crisis such as war,
Yes, my love.
famine.
Did I hear you or did I hear that?
Authorities often scapegoated witches to explain broader societal problems. The Strasbourg witch panic of 1579, for example, intensified amidst tensions caused by economic hardship and religious divisions following the Reformation. Rather than deal with a revolting populace, it was easier to shift the blame onto witches and away from the authorities. Urban elites were often particularly concerned with asserting moral authority and reinforcing discipline in times of upheaval.
Right, and urban authorities often saw witch hunts as opportunities to consolidate power.
Exactly, Lily. Urban authorities sometimes exploited witch hunts to assert their moral legitimacy, public order or settle political rivalries. Trials in major cities such as Würzburg and Cologne frequently involved accusations against councillors, clergy, and even wealthy merchants. In Trier, one of the largest and most notorious persecutions of the 1580s and 1590s saw members of the town council and university professors executed, suggesting how political rivalries could also be cloaked in the language of religious and moral purification.
Could you elaborate more on this contrast between rural accusations and urban accusations?
Certainly. In rural areas, accusations typically stemmed from interpersonal conflicts, economic tensions, or family feuds rooted in the direct impact of alleged maleficia. These cases became urban affairs when authorities intervened, elevating local grievances into large-scale judicial proceedings. Thus, rural suspicion, especially surrounding maleficia affecting vital resources like livestock, dairy, crops, and health, provided the spark, while urban institutional power and administrative machinery provided the fuel for full-blown witch hunts.
So, summarising today's points, accusations of witchcraft often originated in rural communities due to close-knit relationships, local superstitions, and the direct economic impact of maleficia. Meanwhile, the escalation of witches into major trials occurred in urban centres, equipped with legal institutions and driven by broader social, political, and religious anxieties.
Precisely. For exam success, remember to clearly distinguish these rural-urban dynamics and emphasize the importance of maleficia using detailed examples like Pendle, Bamberg, Würzburg, and Trier to substantiate your analysis.
Excellent summary, Mr. Fisher. That's all for this episode. God bless you, you absolute saint of a man.
Thanks for joining Witch Craze Weekly. Keep revising, analytical, and we'll see you next time.